What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Just give me 1 second. I'll just get everything set up here. Uh, get old horse face killer on the screen. Horse face killer. All right, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Top of the evening to y'all, midday, whatever you want to call it, right? I felt I'd come here and talk for a few minutes about this little debacle that's been going on, and whoever better to explain it, because evidently ain't nobody else from Bad Boy got nothing positive to say about Puff or defended Puff but me. You know what I mean? You know. Anyway, long story short here. There's been a recent development in the story about Fergie, and if many of y'all might be too young to know about Fergie or whatever. I think she's one of the Duchesses of York. But anyway, this broad, that's her on the screen right there, old horse face killer. No disrespect to King Charles or anything, but y'all ain't really produced the best offspring out there. Let's just put it that way. It was better when Diana was around. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I wanted to read y'all a little something because this is kind of it's kind of complicated to tell. Diddy has had some trice. We all know that, all right? And if you don't know what I mean by trice, I mean he's dealt with a couple of women. Why wouldn't he? Especially around this time, he was on top of the world. The problem is, every time that they get a chance in the media, because a lot of people, they want to keep up on Puff. Let's see what he's doing. Let's see how his jail bill is going. The nigga coming home regardless. You understand what I'm saying? So Sarah Ferguson better reply to. I wanted to read y'all a little article about her, and I'm also going to read you a little nice little article about something else that goes in contrast with this. But what I want to say is this: were you a money getting MFer? I'm gonna put it right there. Were you a money getting MFer? Sometimes these bras come around just because you a money making MFer. And a lot of people don't realize that, don't want to realize it or whatever. But I'm gonna put y'all up to privy. Don't worry about it. I got you. New allegations involving Sarah Ferguson and Sean Diddy Combs are making headlines after a royal author reported doubled down on claims about their alleged past connection. Now, I don't see how this is new allegations. The controversial claims appear to be updated edition of the royal biography and have already sparked strong reactions online. Although the allegations remain unverified, the author insists that the information came from multiple sources tied to both figures. Ferguson's camp, however, has firmly denied the story and dismissed the claims as false. Author Andrew Lowney is standing by allegations that Ferguson and Combs had a long-running friends with benefits situation and arrangement. The claims are included in paperback edition of his book. Isn't that ironic? His book. The book expands on earlier stories surrounding the former Duchess of York. See, I was right about that. She was a Duchess. Duchess of York and her social life. According to the published abstracts, unnamed sources claim Ferguson and Combs first met at a celebrity gathering in 2002. That sounds about right. Before allegedly becoming closer over time. The book further alleges that the pair traveled together and stayed in luxury hotels during their overseas trips. One source quoted the reports claimed that the two met privately in Europe and Africa. Ooh. Furthermore, they are said to have stayed in exclusive properties and cost tens of thousands of pounds per night. Now, why wouldn't they? We're talking about Diddy and the Duchess of York. So we're talking about paper on top of paper on top of paper on top of paper. In the words of some more, the great comedian, you don't know money like these two know money. Let me continue. Lonnie has defended the allegations in interviews promoting the updated release. Speaking to the Sunday Times, the royal author said that he has no doubts about the credibility of the individuals who provided information for the book. He also claimed that the story is supported by former associates connected with both Ferguson and Combs. There goes some more of these niggas snitching. So he reaching out to niggas that used to form a bad boy. I'm going to get into that in a minute, too. It's Puff, you're going to have to watch for that. Another source reportedly claimed Ferguson introduced Combs to her daughters during a yacht party in 2006. Okay, so what? They was on a yacht party. It's actually, this picture right here is cropping out, I believe, one of her daughters. So I cropped it out, but there's a picture of, in this original picture right here that you see on the screen, there's also another woman on the other side of him. And she's just frowning like a rebel teenager or whatever. But I think that's the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, his daughter. I cropped out because she just looked a little too young to be on screen for me. Meanwhile, a source close to Ferguson strongly rejected the allegations, calling them absolute fabricated nonsense. Ferguson herself has not publicly addressed the latest claims. The former Duchess of York is now a nobody following renewed scrutiny on her relationship with predator Jeffrey Epstein. Ain't that ironic? See, I gotta listen. Also, royal commentator Andrew Pierce has claimed. Pierce made the blistering remark on a May 19 episode of Best Magazine UK Suddenly Single podcast, arguing though Fergie had traded on her royal connections for forever and a day, those days are now over. She also knows that with the royal family, no more trips, Sandringham at Christmas with the royals, said Pierce, who's also economist for the Daily Mail, which is in Europe, if you guys don't know. King Charles III has been far too generous with her, and she's now history. Whoa, they just threw out in the trash can. She's a nobody. She doesn't exist. This is his words from Piers Morgan. She's a nobody. She does exist. This is what they said. Pierce noted that Fergie has vanished from the kind of elite social events she once attended, recalling that he saw her at a Christmas party at a billionaire's home in London's Belgravia neighborhood over the 2024 holiday season, and that she wasn't there for the same party in 2025. Well, that just means she might have went to another billionaire's party. I don't think, one of the funny things is some people think because you don't have the same amount of money you had anymore, whatever, that also means that you don't have the same amount of connections. And I'm here to tell you, I can extremely tell you, if you don't believe nothing else that I tell you, just because you ain't got the same amount of money don't mean that you ain't got the same amount of connections. Doesn't mean you don't have the same type of social circles. Doesn't mean that you can't enter back into those social circles at any time that you see fit. Keep that in mind when you're dealing with me. In addition to a relationship with Epstein, Pierce also took aim at Ferguson's finances, calling her spending habits a major factor in her downfall. Wow, so she liked to spend money. She's a reckless spender. That's her problem, he said. Pierce pointed to Epstein's files and reports claiming that she racked up millions of dollars in debt and had asked the disgraced financier to help her repay some of it. So they're trying to make it look like that Puff was supposed to be trying to help her pay out some bills. Something like that. Can you pay my bills? You need my telephone. No, I'm just playing. That song was out in 2002, though. I'm just saying. Shout out to Beyonce. She did get her debts of 4.5 million pounds. Whoa, that roughly is about, about $4.2 million in American dollars. If you do the currency exchange, about 4.2, 4.3, somewhere rough around there, maybe 4.25. Pierce wondered before repeating the figure, which is a little more than 6 million today, outside of what do you call it there? I forgot what it's called there. It'll come to my mind in a minute. Inflation. Inflation is different every 10 years. So I said it was 4.2. Today will be $6 million, but in 2002 it was 4.2 if you're going by the British pound and the trade currency rate. She had her own cupcake chef. She had a cupcake chef. That's interesting. Every family should have one, Pierce said mockingly. And she always took a dresser with her, a hairdresser, a publicist. She just spends, and she's very generous. She buys people very expensive presents, but it wasn't her money to buy the presents with. Pierce also cited reports claiming in recent months Ferguson had been staying at the Alpine Clinic in Austria that cost about £2,000 a night, or about $2,700. Who's paying that? Who's paying the bill, he asked. Well, there's always a nigga out there gonna pay it. Sorry, Piers Morgan, there's always a nigga out there that's gonna pay it. Oh, boy. Ferguson's latest troubles come as the former Duke of York faces his own dramatic fall from grace. Now, let's talk about old Prince Andrew over here, since we want to talk about Diddy. Because, see, I see what you're trying to do. Somebody brought out these headlines because, and I just want to take a brief pause real quick and so y'all can peep game. First of all, like to me is, this is a cover-up story to take attention off of Prince Andrew because for the sanctity of the crown hood. You want to take the sanctity of the crown hood, so you get this one wacko, never heard of him as really an author over here in the United States anyway. And he says, I want to put together this book. And in this book, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an accusation and say that Diddy did something dirty with Queen Fergie. How dare that black man do something with our nice fool. And I want to thank Piers Morgan too, because he put it out there. This bitch was broke. What's wrong with that? What did I say? He said I just read it to you. This is from an English publication. They say she spent a lot. She spent a lot of money. Yeah, that's what she did. And then a common theme, a lot of these hoes spend money. Puff, can you help me? Puff, give me just a couple dollars. I gotta get out of this bind. I'm in a bind, Nate. I'm in a bind. Anyway, in late 2025, amid renewed interest in the relationship with Epstein, the king stripped his brother of his royal titles. Now remember, this is Prince Charles's brother, of his royal titles and honors at the monarchy, attempted to distance himself from the scandal. You can't do that. Sorry, it's too late. The fallout intensified in early 2026 when the Mountbatten Windsor was forced out of the royal lodge and the 30-room Crown Estate mansion he and Fergie had called home for years despite their 1996 divorce. Then in February, he was arrested. Let's go deep. This is actually Prince Andrew ex-bitch. You follow me? All right. Make sure you tú sabes, para la gente latino, esta es un chero ahí. Esta es un chero. Anyway, it won't be Mountbatten Windsor, that's how you spell it, Mountbatten Windsor paying her bills, because he's going to have to conserve every penny he's got in his legal costs if he's taken to court, because he's been arrested. He may be prosecuted for improper conduct in public life. He may be prosecuted for allegedly giving privileged informants to wealthy people like Jeffrey Epstein. Privileged information to wealthy people like Jeffrey Epstein. He really is down on his luck. I mean, he's living in a 5-bedroom house, Pierce said, referring to Marsh Farm, the property of King's privately owned Sandringham estate, where Mountbatten Windsor is now living. How he's ever going to manage, Prince Pierce teased. He's being sarcastic if you don't know. Added that the former Duke of York only has 2 members of staff living there. According to Pierce, the royals' response to the disgraced former Prince's scandal is part of a long-running survival instinct. And that's what I want to talk about with Puff right there. Let me pause for a second. First things first, right? This shit was broke. You understand what I'm saying? And Puff, we love you. Well, for those of us in the left, some of us, they go out and they want to sit down and talk to everybody. I remember in 2004 when Diddy did this. Well, you ain't do nothing about it if he was, so what that make you? You understand what I'm saying? I don't see no shit like that in the whole 17 years I worked at the company. You understand what I'm saying? I'm still in touch with some of my solid bad boy brothers. So shout out to y'all. You understand what I'm saying? I'm doing my duty. Just recognize it. Anyway, long story short here, this chick is running a recurring story. She was broke. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not here to shame anybody or whatever. But if she would have bust down for Puff to get her bills paid, if she was married or involved with somebody or heading towards a divorce, are you following me here? Chances are, see, y'all got to understand the anatomy of a chick that's used to being privileged. It's very different than a normal chick. See, a normal chick could get online, and let me explain Fergie's position so you'll understand what I'm talking about. A normal chick, say you take her from, Wagner Projects in Harlem, or take her from Sumner in Brooklyn, or take her from, Baisley out in Queens, right? You, because of her surroundings and all the surroundings, when you got a woman that's got ambition, she can open up the hair salon, she can start a label, she can start managing, she can start being the dress coordinator, whatever, right? Then you got some women, guys, can you make sure y'all hit that like button? I appreciate it. Then you got some women that have been accustomed to money. You understand what I'm saying? Which would be one Sarah Ferguson. Now, I don't know if she was born into money or whatever with a silver spoon or whatever the case may be, but this chick was a Duchess of York. Please make no mistake about it. And even though the royal family, they can't play into politics or nothing like that, they're just symbolic of anything. The point is, Sarah Ferguson was in desperate need, and she needed a sucker. Puff, shut the fuck up. She needed a sucker. So like women like this do, because I've met women like this before a million times in my life, what they start doing, as you see them currently doing, if you just watch some of these shows, some of these podcasts or whatever, they looking for a ball. I'm looking for a baller, shot caller, 28 blades. Nigga, you want to holler. Because the electric company want to holler at her. The car lease want to holler at her. The cupcake chef that she had needs his pay. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pay the cupcake chef. This bitch had a cupcake chef. Who has a cupcake chef? I don't know. Anyway, don't worry about that. Point I'm getting at is, this was a chick that was overspending. And once, like I said before, the mistake you did with Cassie and many of these other broads that you was running with is the same thing. See, Cassie from right out here in Connecticut. And ironically enough, she's from the area in Connecticut where I used to live at. You understand what I'm saying? Which I'm wildly known out there. You understand? So what the problem is when you get broads that don't come from money, but they marry into money, they're very different than a chick that grew up with money. See, a chick that grew up with money, most of the time she wants to facilitate things of her own. She wants to have her own identity. She wants to be out there. She wants to be whatever. I don't know the Duchess of York's background and if she grew into money or she was married into money. Similar to the sorts of Princess Diana, God bless her heart. Princess Diana didn't come from the same background that Charles and Queen Elizabeth and all them came around, but she was part of the family. She built out some beautiful children and a beautiful dynasty, may I say, and her tragic end was horrible. But the point is, unlike Princess Diana, because I never heard Princess Diana having this problem. She was overspending money, even when she was with Dowdy, and he was a Saudi prince, and he died along with her. I never heard them spending a lot of money like that. But anyway, for her being grubby, she seemed like a very humble woman. I would have thought that Fergie was kind of humble until I heard these allegations that were put out by Piers Morgan. Now, Piers Morgan, you got to take him with bread and spoon and butter. You understand? You never know if he's telling the truth, if he's not telling the truth or whatever, because he works with two sides of the pawn. He works in America and he works in England, so he's got to satisfy both of them. Fergie was spending a lot of money, according to Piers Morgan. Guys, make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate it. He was spending a lot of money, according to Piers Morgan, and the way he attributed it, he said that she was having some financial troubles. Now, if she was having some financial troubles, it's safe to believe that she would reach out to a nigga like fuck, because at the time the nigga still worth about $200 million. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, baby. Well, you need $6 million. Go ahead and write that bitch a check for $6 million. Go ahead, look, little bitch. Go on out the back door. Talk to Eddie back here. He'll get you a check for $6 million, bitch. All right, bitch. I'll see you next week. Go on back here. Eddie gonna write you a check for $6 million, bitch. All right, then go ahead and talk to Eddie. All right, bitch. Go on back here and talk to Eddie. Regardless of the point, I'm trying to be funny here, but I'm being serious at the same time. The linear fashion that all these women have is they were financially fucking dependent on Puff. And as much as you don't want to admit that, these women were broke. What did Cassie sue him for? Well, she got $30 million. You understand what I'm saying? The other chicks that showed up there, they was looking for checks too. And now we have the white, no offense to anybody that's white here, the whitest a creme de la creme of white. I mean, England white. It's a difference between New England white, Southern white, Mid-Eastern white, and then London. This is the fucking sister state here. What are we talking about here? This is white on top of white on top of white on top of white. Even white people's like, that bitch too white for me. This is Lord Dukashab. This is the royal family. And now they're trying to release this book, which this man has written. I'm going to read this back for y'all, for you people just now getting in here, because you're not going to know what I'm talking about. And I want to make sure that I stand by what I stand by. And guys, make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate it. Off the stands by Sarah Ferguson and Diddy's friends with benefits claim. So this is what a friends with benefits situation is, exactly that. You understand what I'm saying? Look, I'm going to break you off a little, Sean. And this is what she look like. All right. And I mean, you know, horse face killer. This is a horse face bitch. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to hold you. Puff, you stronger than me, but I get the pimping. You understand what I'm saying? See, situations like this get you introduced to the royal family and shit like that. Ask French Montana, that nigga know. You understand? New allegations revolving Sarah Ferguson and Sean Diddy Combs are making headlines after a royal author, this is a royal author, reportedly doubled down on claims about their alleged past connection. The controversial claims appear to be an updated version of the royal's biography and haven't already sparked strong reactions online. Although the allegations remain unverified, I want to underline that, unverified, the author insists that the information came from multiple sources tied to both figures, which very much it alerts me to something. And Puff, King, I'm trying to tell you, some niggas talking. And if they ain't talking right now, they're going to get ready to talk. So we're going to cut them off at the pass. You understand me? You know what I'm saying? Although the allegations remain unverified, the author insists that the information came from multiple sources tied to both figures. Make sure you underline that. Ferguson's camp, however, has firmly denied this story and dismissed the claims as false. I want to make sure that you know that. Author Andrew Lowning, that's spelled Lownie, so you guys can look it up for yourself, is standing by allegations that Ferguson and Combs had a long-running friends with benefits arrangement. I don't know how many years that inclusive of, but I would say if it's long-running, let's say 5 years or more. Right? Is that fair? The claims are included in the paperback edition of his book entitled. So the name of the book is entitled, just as that. And if you don't know how to spell entitled, I'll spell it for you. It's Entitled. Tied. So y'all can spell that for yourself. The book expands on earlier stories surrounding the former Duchess of York and her social life. So the center and the premise of this book is about her social life. And so basically he's trying to, it would be my guess that the most highlighted, the most popular person that he could get into this situation when it's talking about this story is Puff. You understand what I'm saying? The most recognized, the scrutiny, the controversy. You get what I'm saying here? That's what he was riding on. That's why he threw Puff in there. And at the same time, you embarrass your own circle if you feel the way you feel. And I'm going to back that up in a minute too. If that's the way you feel, you embarrassed her. You ain't embarrassed Puff. According to published abstracts, unnamed sources claim Ferguson and Combs first met at a celebrity gathering in 2002, before allegedly becoming closer over time. The book further alleges that the pair traveled together and stayed in luxury hotels. Well, we know, nigga, they arrested you in Manhattan at the spot. Okay, you get me. So let's say it is, but let's just stay there. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen, hit the like button. Double tap the screen, hit the like button. A book further alleges that the pair traveled together and stayed in luxury hotels doing overseas trips. Sound familiar? One source quoted in the reports claimed that two met privately in Europe and Africa. Met privately. Makes sense. Furthermore, they are said to have stayed at exclusive properties that cost tens of thousands of pounds per night. And the reason they probably went to Europe because that broad couldn't have on her itinerary anywhere more that she made an unregistered or unsolicited trip to America for what? To get busted down. Let's keep it real out this motherfucker, bro. She was flying in and out for that paper and she got bust down. And for Pierce Morgan, what you gonna hear from me, everybody? Because I'm tired of this. Like, niggas be trying to talk eloquently about OnlyFans models and chicks out here throwing out the J to the streets. No, you just like them chicks that live up in the projects. You just got a couple of dollars with you. Now you trying to act like you're better than them. What, you got Manolo boots when you walk through the 5th floor walking through a puddle? Yeah, right. Lonnie has defended the allegations in interviews promoting the updated release. Speaking to the Sunday Times, the royal author said that he had no doubts about the credibility of the individuals who provided the information for the book. He also claimed that the story was supported by former associates connected to both Ferguson and Combs. I stand by it, Lonnie said. He said, I stand by it. It's fully sourced for former employees of P. Diddy and Sarah Ferguson. And that's the part that sticks out to me. Former employees of P. Diddy and Sarah Ferguson. See, fuck, this is why I try to tag him, motherfucking man. Some of these motherfuckers that was rocking with us wasn't rocking with us. They weren't down there at the courtroom. They haven't spoke up. They haven't even had the least of the amount of money, of gumption to sit there and say, well, you know what? Things happen like this, but they didn't happen like this. This is why I said a lot of people from Bad Boy disgust me now, but not Capo. There's a lot of the former staff that ain't saying nothing, coward ass from Nicholas. Continuing on. The book additionally alleges that Combs often spoke about Ferguson in private conversations and was intrigued by the royal circles, like I said. You know what I'm saying? It's an easy way to get in. This is an uptown boy. We hustle. You know what I'm saying? Another source reportedly claimed Ferguson introduced Combs to her daughters during a yacht party in 2006. So if he met her in 2002 and she introduced him to her daughters, one, she was comfortable with him. That's for one. So we know there's no foul play in here. And that's what the most I want to stand out right here, because some people are going to try to network it and push it like that. There was no foul play. This was a consensual relationship if there was any. The problem is here is what were the means and the premise behind this relationship, and was it mutual benefits or was it mutual transactions? Anyway, continue on. The book additionally alleges that Combs often spoke about Ferguson in private conversations and was intrigued by the royal circles. Another source reportedly claimed Ferguson introduced Combs to her daughters in 2006. So at that point, 2002 to 2006, he's known her for 4 years. Meanwhile, a source close to Ferguson strongly rejected the allegations, calling them absolute fabricated nonsense. Ferguson herself has not publicly addressed the latest claims. Of course she ain't. Of course she ain't. The former Duchess of York is now a nobody. And I wanna make sure that you understand this was written May 20th, 2026. The former Duchess of York is now a nobody following renewed scrutiny over her relationship with predator Jeffrey Epstein. Follow me here. Guys, make sure y'all double tap that screen, hit the like button, bless the Cash App as well. The former Duchess of York is now a nobody following renewed scrutiny over her relationship with predator Jeffrey Epstein. Now, what kind of relationship that is, I want to know. Royal commentator Andrew Pierce has claimed. Pierce made a blistering remark on a May 19 episode of Best Magazine's UK Suddenly Single podcast, arguing that even though Fergie had traded on her royal connections forever and a day, those days are now over. She also knows that it's with the royal family. No more trips to Strangenham at Christmas with the royals, said Pierce, who also is a columnist for the Daily Mail. King Charles III has been far too generous, and he underlined that. And she's history now. She's a nobody. She doesn't exist. This is all Piers Morgan's words. Please pay attention. He said she was around who? Jeffrey Epstein. Who else was around Jeffrey Epstein? One puff. Who was it? Prince Andrew. Who was Prince Andrew to her? Figure that out and you get everything, but you're going to find out in a second. You'll find out. You will know. She also knows that it's with the royal family. There's no more trip to Strandingham at the Christmas with the royals, said Pierce, who's also a columnist for the Daily Mail. King Charles III has been far too generous with her, and she's history now. She's a nobody. She doesn't exist. Pierce noted that Fergie has vanished from the kind of elite social event she once attended, recalling that he saw her at a Christmas party at a billionaire's home in London's Belgravia neighborhood over the 2024 holiday season, and that she wasn't there for the same party in 2025. That you could have found somebody else to go to a party to. What does that matter? She also has taken herself off the social circuit completely, Pierce said. She's hanging her head in shame. I don't believe that much. As for whether there's any coming back from the Epstein scandal, which has engulfed both Fergie and her ex-husband, Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Pierce didn't waver. I don't think there is this time, he said. Okay, but I'm coming back. Now, this is the part that gets interesting, because this is why a lot of these chicks were around Puff. In addition to her relationship with Epstein, and that's as if this is true. In addition to her relationship with Epstein, Pierce also took to aim at Ferguson's finances, calling her spending habits a major factor in her downfall. She is a reckless spender. That's her problem, he said. Pierce pointed to Epstein files and reports claiming she racked up millions of dollars in debt and had that disgraced financer help her repay some of it. Y'all better pay attention. How did she get debts of 4.5 million pounds, Pierce asked. Pierce wondered before repeating the figure, which is a little more than $6 million a day, and that's because of inflation, if y'all don't know. Inflation happens every 10 years or whatever, so probably back then it was probably somewhere close to 4.3 to 4.5 million based on the currency exchange rate. Extraordinary, he added, before listing some of the things Ferguson had allegedly overspent on. Allegedly spent on. She had her own cupcake chef. Now I heard some balling shit, even from Puff. I was around this motherfucker for 17 years in the company. I don't remember one time this nigga had a cupcake chef. What is a cupcake chef? We gonna look into that. A cupcake chef, nigga, on payroll? That's deep. That must have been some hell cupcakes. How did it get to depths of 4.5 million pounds? Pence wondered before repeating the figure, which is more than 6 million a day. Extraordinary, he added, before listing some of the things Ferguson allegedly overspent on. She had her own cupcake chef. Every family should have one. He laughed mockingly. She always took a dresser with her, a hairdresser, a publicist. She just spends. She's very generous. She buys people very expensive presents, but it's not her money to buy the presents with. So I'm assuming it was Prince Andrew's. And here's a picture of both of them together, in case you're wondering. That's them together. That's her ex-husband. Okay, and we all know the scandal that he's under, or whatever, whatever. You was actually over there for diddling with them little girls and everything like that. All the explicit pictures, but you don't see no pup pictures like that, do you? Oh, nah. These niggas they got pictures of him hovering over chicks. It's 13, all kinds of disgusting. Yeah. Guys, make sure y'all double tap that screen and hit that like button. 60 plus of y'all in here, y'all can at least double tap the screen and hit the like button. I appreciate it. Ferguson's latest troubles came as former Duke of York faces his own dramatic fall from grace. In late 2025, amid renewed interest in the relationship with Epstein, the king stripped his brother of his royal titles and honors as a monarch. He attempted to distance itself from the scandal. And this, in my opinion, is the same reason why before the headline that I read before this shortly, the sentence or paragraph, however you want to put it, they said that she had been removed from the same circle. So he said, well, she doesn't live as extravagant as she used to. And she's not at all the socialite parties. The last time I saw her was at a billionaire financier's party back in 2024. This how I trust me on that. Trust me on that. It is not in best interest of the royal family to make sure this woman is in destitute. They will, in fact, make sure that she's financially taken care of, silently, and she'll have a nice little cottage, maybe one or two, people that will attend to her. But that will be it, and that will be the story of Sarah Ferguson. In late 2025, amid renewed interest in the relationship with Epstein, the king stripped his brother of his royal titles. Oh yeah, let me make that clear. This is Prince Elizabeth's son. Okay, all right. And that's not to say King Charles was involved in anything like this, because as we know, he wasn't. In late 2025, amid renewed interest in his relationship with Epstein, the king stripped his brother of his royal titles and honors as the monarchy attempted to distance itself from the scandal. The fallout intensified in early 2026 when Mountbatten Windsor was forced out of the royal lodge, a 30-room crown estate mansion he and Fergie had called home for years despite their 1996 divorce. So they were still around each other. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen and hit the like button. Then in February, he was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office weeks after the U.S. Department of Justice released emails suggesting he passed sensitive government documents to Epstein while serving as Britain's trade envoy. Okay, pay attention. He was also a traitor. Pierce noted that the Mountbatten Windsor own legal and financial pressures mean that he is unlikely to be helping fund Ferguson's post-royal life. So that means that he's not taking care of her. It won't be Andrew Mountbatten Windsor paying her bills, because she's going to have to conserve every penny he's got for his legal costs if he's taken to court, because he may be yet. He's been arrested. He may be prosecuted for improper conduct in his public life. He may also be prosecuted for allegedly giving privileged information to wealthy people like Jeffrey Epstein. He's really down on his luck. I mean, he's living in a 5-bedroom house, Pierce said, referring to the Marsh Farm, the property the king privately owns. Sagerham Estates in Mountbatten Windsor is now living. How he's ever going to manage, this is sarcastically, of course, Pierce teased, adding that the former Duke of York not only has 2 members of staff living there, only 2. According to Pierce, the royals' response to the disgraced former prince's scandal was a part of a long-running survival instinct. The House of Windsor has survived so long because there's a brutal streak running through it, and we've seen that, he said. Now, here's another one that y'all want to hear about Sarah. Okay, she involved in all kinds of shit. Her and Prince Fergie Andrew. What's going on, Jim X? Sarah Ferguson's close friend and business partner, Manuel Fernandez, used his palace links to threaten a worker with jail, according to the recording obtained by this particular news agency. The worker, listen to me. The worker Fernandez failed lifestyle app Roosh was told that the police would investigate him for allegedly putting royal security at risk by hacking emails. Ferguson was an investor and an ambassador for the business, and Fernandez used his connections to impress investors and staff and the workers' claims. Now, the reason I brought this up, because this is a totally different article, but the reason I brought this up, because this gives you an indication of how she moved around. She was looking for opportunities. And it looks like she was looking for financial opportunities, but at the same time, she was a spender. If you're looking for somebody who wants financial opportunities, as she invested probably, which was Prince Andrew's money, into this individual's Voosh app that failed. So it's a hard one to take when an app fails, especially back in them days. But yeah, Ferguson was regularly photographed with ex-soldier turned businessman from 2015 and 2017. Yeah, back in them years, that's before AI was like literally introduced as heavy as it was. This is back in the time, maybe 5 years after I got out of college. This is where you were still doing coding. I went to school for digital media. So with coding, you were doing HTML5 coding, things like that. Some of these things at that time, they would take you months. You would have to use InDesign, Quark, all these other different mechanisms that were mostly iOS mechanisms, or I forgot what the running system, operating system is on Mac and all that, but you get what my drift is. And so you would have to use a combination of all these different things to actually assess that. So losing out on a what's the name is a lot. Yeah, and here's the numbers. Ferguson owned about 1% of the shares and loaned the company about 50,000 according to company filings, which is over here probably around about $46,000 at the time or something like that. So she gave up $46,000 and wasn't even her money for a failed app. That's a lot to lose. I don't care what you're talking about. It's a lot to lose. You know, any amount of money, when you have any type of investment that's over, in my opinion, over $100, you lost a lot of money. Now, I want to read y'all this one right here because this is this is interesting because everybody has their own take on this, right? And I'm only taking the take from what I see and what I think. I think that she was down on her luck. I think she needed some money. I think she saw the ending coming because she got divorced from him in 1996 from Prince Andrew. So this is 10 years after. If 10 years after, in 2006, if she's introducing Puff to her kids on a boat, which I can't verify or not verify. You understand what I'm saying? But I wanted to read y'all this because I thought this was very, very funny, because this is the funny thing about it. There's a guy writing a book. He was part of the royal family. That means he sat around. He was some type of another stenographer, auditor, or maybe a biography, whatever, as to ascertain information or whatever. So finally, if ever, but I'm imagining this guy was around when Queen Elizabeth was still alive. Now, this is the response. King Charles and Queen Camilla appalled over rumors Sarah Ferguson had sexual relationships with Sean Diddy Combs. It's deeply embarrassing. Nigga, I know you ain't talking. I know you ain't talking. Your royal motherfucking highness, I know you ain't talking. Nigga, your wife got killed and got separated from you because you was dealing with old horse face ass Camille. Respectfully. You understand what I'm saying? Versus Diana. Diana, if y'all don't know Princess Diana, y'all never heard of Princess Diana, please go look up, because I know a lot of y'all wasn't alive when she was alive. This woman was beautiful. She was elegant. She had poise and everything else. And the only reason he went with Camille is because him and Camille grew up together. Let me tell you something. You know, I hate a motherfucker to be like, oh, why you with her? Well, I know a brother and shit. I know a cousin. You know what I mean? I know a mom. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I can't stand when motherfuckers say some shit like that. And it's funny to me because this is why he went back to Camille. Now, old horse-faced killer Camille, respectfully, this is an ugly broad. You understand what I'm saying? If you look and you could just fast forward and just think in your mind, what would Princess Diana look like now? Because she would have been well into her late 60s or 70s now. What would Princess Diana look like as an older woman? And I guarantee you, everybody will agree. She looked better than Fergie, and she looked better than Camille's. Oh, long face out. Oh, horse face looking at, bro. I mean, I mean, you got to understand, like, and white women, white people here, especially white men, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's certain type of white women. I've dated a lot of Italian women, a lot of Greek women, you know what I'm saying? I've also dated black women, Latin women, you name it. One thing I know about white women, you get one or two things. Either they age like wine or they age like sour milk. Let's be for real. Because I got this term from a white man, all right? He said at about 30, it's a gamble. You like, come on, chef. Come on, chef. Let this bitch make it to 40. If she make it to 46, and she ain't looking like she used to work at the diner, your local tavern, Will it be? And she got a voice like that. So will it be tonight, boys? I don't know, Marge. Let's take 2 Hennessy's and bring us a plate of chicken wings. She turns into that broad. Now, even white women know what I'm talking about. Y'all know the term? Like, listen, I live in Connecticut. I've been around white people my entire life. I understand. Y'all know this term? She's also pasty pale. What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? This is horse face killer. So when she was cute, and she might have been uckable, you understand what I'm saying? She's now part of a long line standing of women we like to know and refer to as the unuckables. She's one of the unuckables. See, some women, they age and they get older, and you still want to tear them down. You need an example? Let motherfucking Lynn Whitfield show up right now. Let Halle Berry show up right now. Right here at the crib. Let, and I hate to say this, Felicia Rashad even still look good. She damn near 70 something. You know what I'm saying? It's still niggas that ain't. Yeah, I'll take down Claire Huxtable. Haven't doing all that Bill Cosby shit, but not with the pills, though. Cosby Show, not Cosby. You know what I'm saying? Not Bill Cosby. Cosby Show. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get correct. My point is here. There's a lot of older women that age like fine wine. You understand what I'm saying? I can name white ones. Angelina Jolie still look finer than a motherfucker. Who gonna disagree with that? What's Tom Cruise's ex-wife, the Australian chick, Nicole Kidman? She could still get it. Who else can I think of that can still get it? What's Bruce? Jesus, what's his? I forgot her name. But there's a lot of older chicks out here that can get it. And when I say older, I'm talking about like 60, 65. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna call? Oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? When am I gonna hear from you again? Oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I will read y'all this real quick. And this is the headline. King Charles and Queen Camilla appalled over rumors. But like I said, it's funny to me because you got back with Camille, and I didn't finish that part out. You got back with Camille. That's what's up. She said, I'm 65. I don't know. Do you still look good, though? You gotta let me know, though. I can kind of see your figure. I can't see your face, but I can see your figure in the picture. Now, this is the thing. If y'all are not familiar with the story, Princess Diana, because I left off on that, and I need to respect her. Princess Diana died in a car crash. She was being chased by paparazzi or whatever. But the story leading up to that, how she got with this man Dowdy, was particularly because of this point right here. There had been some infidelity in the relationship between her and now King Charles, which at the time was Prince Charles. We remember this. Many of us grew up watching this. And so, especially if you're around about 35, 40, 45 years old, you remember this. And so we remember the car crash with her and Dowdy, who was a Saudi Arabian or Egyptian prince, one of the two. And we remember when they first got word that Prince Charles and her were breaking up. It shocked a lot of the world. They were like, what? Why would he break up with her? And then when he showed up with Camilla, everybody was like, you broke up with that beautiful woman for horse-face killer? Horse-face killer? King Charles and Queen Camilla appalled. I don't even think Queen Elizabeth like that bitch. Because you go right now, you'll look up. Excuse my friend, I had to do that. Go right now, you'll look up, and you'll see, put in Queen Elizabeth looking at Queen Camilla, and you'll see all these stark, nasty looks that print. Man, I miss Queen Elizabeth. I miss her so much, because if she would have been alive and this shit would have came out, it would have been a different deal, or they would have handled it way, way different. King Charles and Queen Camilla appalled over rumors Sarah Ferguson had sexual relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. It's deeply embarrassing, really. While King Charles and Queen Camilla were already scrambling to pick up the pieces after Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's sexual assault scandal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein were exposed, they are now dealing with the drama surrounding rumors that Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, had a sexual relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. The sheer volume of the story surfacing about Sarah's former connections to the controversial figures has left senior royals appalled. An insider recently told us people were absolutely aghast when Diddy's name was thrown into the mix. Oh my God, she wasn't laying with that Negro, was her? Even though the royal family, we have Negro blood in us. Imagine, even though Princess Diana was with a brown man when she passed away. Imagine, this is totally embarrassing. Anyway, the sheer volume of stories surfacing Sarah's former connections to the controversial figures has left senior royal officials appalled. An insider recently told a news outlet people were absolutely aghast when Diddy's name was thrown into the mix. Even hearing Sarah's name mentioned in the same breath as him had horrified the family. But y'all wasn't horrified when Epstein was mentioned? Get the fuck up out of here. That's why your brother's sitting over there right now in that private cottage. That's why she's sitting over there right now in that private cottage. So if y'all need to tap one of them motherfuckers, or, an accident happened or something, motherfucker slip off a horse, you know what I'm saying? Go corroding down into a creek bed somewhere in North Windsor, some shit like that, right? Yeah. Please believe that. The sheer volume of stories surfacing about Sarah's former connections to controversial figures has left senior royals appalled. Now, you notice it said former connections with a plural. That means she had more people than she knew as Diddy, but they're going to highlight Diddy because of the pure simple fact they want to match it. They want to kind of like supersede that story. And they say, well, out of the two, which one do we want more polarized in media? So as much as they'll say they're appalled, they wouldn't even have gave a statement if they were that appalled. This is not the royal family's way. So for me personally, I think what they wanted to do, they wanted to use Puff's name to kind of like take some of the whimper and the damage. Because when you look at it, Puff got convicted of being a freak. You understand what I'm saying? Which ain't much different than most niggas do on a Saturday. The shit that Puff was doing, most niggas in Harlem and the Bronx do on a Saturday night with some broads. Just to be honest with y'all, for everybody to live everywhere else. You understand what I'm saying? In New York City, and the New York City tri-state, there's always a bitch ready to bust down for a couple sides of change. You can get a bitch for a slice of pizza. You understand what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. She hungry enough. Is she hungry enough? Now let me continue before y'all get appalled and disrespected and think the shit I'm sharing there's some junk. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen, hit the like button. Also, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App, Stringer Bell 80. I had a little joint yesterday. I was talking about how we got 3 people that are literally murderers that are right now collecting tens of thousands of dollars. And those people include Luigi Mangione. Those people include Sean G, who was convicted of killing Julio Fulio, one of the murderers out of 5. And also, we have one other person who I think is disgusting, who is Chud the Builder, for somehow in 2 days has been allowed to make $300,000, but for some reason or another I cannot get people to donate to my development. So guys, make sure y'all hit up that Cash App, or you can hit up the Super Chat if you don't have the Super Chat is open. All right, let me continue on here. The sheer volume of stories surfacing about Sarah's former connections to controversial figures, with a plural again, has left senior royals appalled. Don't put Puff's name up there. It said controversial figures with a plural. It said connections. That means multiple. People were absolutely aghast. How are you more superseded on Puff, but you weren't superseded on other people? Don't worry about it. The music mogul 56 is currently in prison on prostitution charges, not for having sex with prostitutes, but soliciting those prostitutes to have sex with his women. You understand what I'm saying? On prostitution charges, and has also been accused of sex trafficking and sexually assaulting multiple men and women. He wasn't convicted of assaulting multiple men and women. He wasn't convicted of assaulting men or women. So that's a lie. So this publication is lying. Throughout his trial, jaw-dropping details about his sex parties, which he called free-calls, were also exposed. That's not what happened. He said, wild party, jaw-dropping details. No, those were personal interactions. While sources denied the allegations, the insider told Closer the damage was done instantly. King Charles and Queen Camilla especially found the whole circus mortifying. They added, Camilla's furious, and she's generally thought the chapter of the royal scandal was finally fading into the background. I just told y'all what I told y'all. These motherfuckers trying to use Puff as a poster boy to get away from this Jeffrey Epstein shit. Nah, nigga, your brother was over there climbing on little girls. King Charles, fuck that nigga. Fuck him. Your brother was over there. For the 5 people that just jumped out, fuck you too if you get offended by that. If you're offended by me merely mentioning that a white man was standing over little girls and they have pictures of it, multiple pictures of it. In some of the pictures, Jeffrey Epstein is in the pictures with him in the background. Have you ever seen that creepy video where Jeffrey is chasing little girls around? They got their face covered or whatever. These girls were 15, 14 years old when he was doing this shit. Don't you feed me that bullshit talking about you are appalled because I used the cuss word. See how people drop out when they don't want to hear about no white man doing the dirt that these white men were doing. And that leads me to a door charge of what I'm saying here. See, I live in Connecticut. I don't live in the projects. I've always lived in Connecticut. Most people know 40% of our state's Italian American. We're surrounded by Italians and Greeks mostly, and Jews. You understand? And then there's Black and Latin as well. So I grew up and I know a lot of white people, a lot of them. Some white people that are very, very, very dangerous individuals, may I add. So with that being said, the funny thing about it, Italian is not the same thing as white, but you get the drift here. They're white adjacent as much as their personality and everything else. The point I'm getting at is here, you have 2 white men. You have Jeffrey Epstein and you have Prince Andrew, who is Fergie's ex-husband, who they got divorced in 96. Now, from 2002 to 2006, allegedly Puff was seeing her, dating her, banging her out, whatever. So if you're talking about these freakos, she introduced him to her kids, as noted in this book that they wrote in 2006, right? Which would lead me to believe if Cassie came not too long after that, because if this dude is right, and follow me here, if you introduce the kids in 2006, right? Cassie had been with Puff for how many amount of years or whatever. So then the questions come up like this. Did Cassie know anything about Fergie if these things are true? Was Fergie busting down the same way Cassie was? Was Fergie busting down? I need the hookers up here. Where the hookers at when we need a good interview? For all you hooker niggas, I need y'all back here. I need y'all back on them slaves and I need to ask y'all a question for all the good hookers. You understand? The hookers with a good heart that want to run around and make sure the justice was fulfilled. All you hookers with a good heart, you male hookers that Puff was hiring, I need all y'all to come up and I need y'all to answer the question, did any of y'all bust down Fergie? Because see, this is the thing. Cassie and Puff had been seeing each other at least around about 2005, 2006. They had just started seeing each other or whatever. So if you want to say, oh, poor Cassie, I can't believe she went in there and gave all those jawbreakers to all those men and called those men up on her own. I can't believe it. She's just been taken advantage of. Fuck that bitch. Anyway, does that mean that Fergie was out here busting down too? Because she was trying to get some change. She was trying to pay off her debt. You know, so y'all ain't paying attention to me, right? Fergie was trying to pay down the debt because according to Pierce Morgan, she overspent a lot of money. This broad had a cupcake chef. Okay, she had a personal cupcake chef. I don't even know what that means, but she had a cupcake chef, as duly noted. So I'm asking if she's curved all this balance and she no longer has a husband in 2002 when she first met Puff. And you can see this horse face looking bitch for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this old ass business. You know what I'm saying? I bet you Puff was in that shit. He's like, yeah, bitch is great. He was just like, yeah, bitch is great. Ain't nobody like you, Fergie. And what you say was going to that rural meeting? Oh, fuck. I know how Harlem niggas hustle. I know how Bronx niggas hustle. We got a certain way of moving. You know, it is what it is. So when I see this compilation of things that are going on here, I have to ask myself, I say, well, was Fergie busting down too? That's a fair question, right? Y'all wanted to ask all the black girls if they were busting down, right? Right? Yeah, I asked all the black girls they were busting down, but not the royal duchess right here. Was she busting down? There's always been infidelity in that royal court. It goes back further than that. These men have always had privilege and always done what they wanted to do, including that's why Prince Andrew thought he could go over there on Jeffrey Epstein and go on Epstein's Island and climb and cover over 15, 14-year-old girls and get filmed while doing it, and wasn't nothing going to happen. You see? That's what you got to understand. So this might be a woman that, I'll use Princess Diana for example. Princess Diana didn't make any big statements when she stepped away from what you now know as King Charles, who was Prince Charles at the time. She moved away very eloquently. She moved away very quietly. She didn't do like you hoes do nowadays. And let me tell you, I got to tell our book. And girl, let me tell you, she didn't do none of that shit. She kept it classy. This hoe, when she walked away from Prince Andrew, she didn't make no big debacle of it, and make no big information gathering circles or whatever. So now we're talking about 1996 when they broke up. 2006 was the last date that can be quoted that Puff was messing with the chick, if he was messing with her. That's if he was messing with her. You understand what I'm saying? To the degree that they're trying to emphasize that this author who wrote this book. But let's say, for the sake of shits and giggles, 2006 was the cap year. Maybe I'll even go 2007. Let's give it an extra year, right? Still, Cassie would have been in the foyer. You understand what I'm saying? Are y'all losing me here? Cassie, guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen, hit the like button, hit up the cash app, hit up the super chat if you like what I'm saying. Cassie would have been in the foray around about 2006, 2007 or whatever. So if her and Puff were dealing with each other and the itinerary stayed true that they were flying to Africa and Europe and all these different places or whatever, it would have made sense. One, she don't want to be on itinerary for no plane, especially being part of the royal family, especially being the ex of Prince Andrew. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to be on any itineraries or have to concern with Puff, and that probably was Puff's making. Now, two, I know this for a fact because the way they linked you, I guess the way they tied you to Jeffrey Epstein is when y'all was flying down there to Bahamas. Y'all was flying down there to Bahamas. It's down there, you know, the cottage down there where they got the likes of Bill Clinton in the dress sitting up on the front stage when you first walk in. That's Bill Clinton right there. Isn't that marvelous in that blue dress that he has on? I had the artiste paint him just like that. The thing I'm telling you here is, Puff went over there to Epstein Island. I think Puff cut ties with this broad a long time ago. They ain't never been nothing but photoed AI doctored photos and shit like that. Same thing they try to do with Jay-Z. Same thing they tried to do with J-Lo. Same thing they tried to do with Gloria Estefan. Same thing they tried to do with a couple other people. These doctored photos or whatever. They were AI and they were exposed as being AI. What I think is I think this chick was destitute because she had a lifestyle that's previously she had and she couldn't hold anymore. And that becomes a problem for a lot of women because a lot of women, and you'll find it even today, what you're going to have, let me give you a conversation that's adjacent to this. Right now, and I don't think it was maybe even 4 months ago, might have been 4 months ago, 5 months ago, somewhere around there, the owner of OnlyFans passed away. I don't know if y'all knew this or not. And since he's passed away, many of the women on there that was making a very good recurrent income, and you can go check this out for yourself. This is documented. These girls are not seeing the same amount of money anymore. And it's very unfortunate for them because some of them have to take off because they're used to making that amount of money. What's my point? When you take a chick that has a 304 mentality, let's say it like that. Yeah, you take a chick that has that type of mentality, you give her money, it's kind of like giving a drug dealer $1 million. You understand what I'm saying? Or giving a crackhead $1 million. They're gonna gamble on that money coming in every month, and they're gonna be thirsty for it or whatever. It's a dopamine rush. And I think that's what Fergie had. This bitch had a cupcake chef. Who has a cupcake chef? This is from Piers Morgan's voice. He said the bitch had a cupcake chef. How much does that cost a month? And she was doing this all on the royal penny. You got to understand it. She was doing this all on the royal penny. Huh? Yeah. All them flights to Africa, who do you think was paying for that? King Charles and court. All those purported, alleged flights to Europe or whatever, different parts of Europe. I'm assuming Germany, Austria, somewhere like that. King Charles was paying for it. And it might be an example here and there. Puff might have paid for something or whatever. I don't think Puff would have wanted that traced back to him, to be honest with you, because it involves a lot of things in my five. It involves the FBI and a couple other things or whatever. If that ever got out like that and somebody wanted to take it and go to the extremities with it. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of these girls that used to be on OnlyFans or still on OnlyFans, go ask them. They're not making the bread they used to since old boy that created OnlyFans passed away. Now y'all can go dig into that information if you want to or whatever, whatever. But what I'm trying to tell you is a hoe and destitute is a hoe and destitute no matter how much she used to make. Now I don't expect none of you regular motherfuckers out here to understand that, but give me one of these chicks on here that's above 50, 55 years old, 60, 65 years old. I need some of the older broads to chime in, and they will tell you the same thing because they know some of these bitches. Oh, they know what it's like to be around a, but ain't nothing like being around a broke bitch who used to have it. Oh boy. She ain't got no ambition no more. See, a broke bitch who used to have it, what she does is try to go find another man that can provide the lifestyle that she used to have. That's what you have with Puff. If you're talking about 1996 and she ain't made him to 2002, that means what? 4 years she had been divorced? So Fergie had been divorced for 4 years. You understand what I'm saying? Money start drying up. Alimony money, shit like that. Bills got to be paid. I had a certain lifestyle. Where's my Bremen cupcake? Let me see if I can say it like that. I want my blaming cupcake chef. You know what I'm saying? I want my cupcake chef. We don't have a cupcake chef. We're going to have a problem up here. All right? I like my blooming pop. Listen, you make pistachio, you make corn muffins, and you just sit down. Blimey me, I'm gonna have me fucking cupcakes today. But what if you don't have your cup? It's gonna be hell to pay, it's gonna be murders. What'd you say, Fergie? It's gonna be murders if me don't have me freaking cupcakes. Where's my cupcake chef? My cupcake chef. Listen, man, Puff ain't did nothing wrong here. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like he did. We ain't gonna keep kicking Puff in the motherfucking back. We ain't gonna keep talking about Puff like he ain't here. We ain't gonna keep, you know what I'm saying, doing all these diggings or whatever with these authors or whatever. Now let me talk about this author, Mr. Lonnie. This is what I be talking about because the motherfucker said something very interesting and I can't ignore it. He said, I had talked to former Bad Boy staff. I wonder who the fuck you talked to confirm some shit like that. Who the fuck did you talk? Who did Puff take with him for you to verify anything? Puff ain't taking no niggas with him or no chicks with him when he going to jump off. That's obvious. We seen that in the testimony. So I'm trying to ask myself, who the fuck alerted you that Puff was doing any of this shit? And there, Puff, that's what we got to find out. We got to find out who these snitching ass motherfuckers are. When you come home, I want every last one of these motherfuckers taken care of. I want every last one of these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers have said some horrible shit out here, and most of it's been lies. But like I told to get along to you, it seems apparent that you come out, it's like Jay said earlier, niggas got to be on the offensive. I try to tell niggas this from the get-go. Niggas need to be on the offensive. Like when you waited all along, not the statement about Cassie, fuck that shit. That was going to happen the way it was going to happen. She already had in her mind she was going to take 30 million from you. But like when we had all the other shit happen, you got to understand, niggas come to testify all that shit. These is niggas that sat around Puff for years, grinning and smiling and, hey, we would love you and all that shit. And I'd be like, yeah, don't grin with me. I can't stand a motherfucker to grin with me all the time. I need to get an argument with you at least once a year or it ain't real. I got homies I worked with on the street team. I love them to death. That's why I started out at. That's where my heart is. Shout out to Chrome. Shout out to little bad boy. Shout out to motherfucker Ra. You know what I'm saying? Scrooge, Big Bucks, all them. You know what I'm saying? Live. You know what I'm saying? It Uptown, all them. I ain't never talking about them because all of us should be in Lamborghinis right now. You understand what I'm saying? And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's still time. But when I hear these stories, it hits me a different way because I'm like, damn, we papering up bitches that had cupcake chefs too. We papering up bitches that had fetishes or whatever and cocaine habits and then pretend like they some stand-up woman and come on trial with a belly. I'm okay now. You know, I started dating the help that my ex-boyfriend used to hire. And now we're having a great family and niggas just applauding her. This bitch was a cheater. She was a cheater. And nobody ever points that out. I'll say it for you a fucking against nobody else wants to say it. The bitch took $30 million so she could go live with her broke boyfriend that she was screwing behind Puff's back in an apartment that Puff was paying for. And if I had to make a guess, sometimes in that house, because that's where they met at, he was a personal help for Puff. That's when Alex Fine, he's such a great man. Alex Fine is a fucking bum. And anybody says any fucking different, you think so? What type of man says, yo, you know what, baby, let's go sue your ex-boyfriend? I ain't got it, he done fired me now, so I can't be his weight counselor or diet health competition or nothing like that. So what we gonna do? I can't work for nobody no more because shit, I done worked for one of the top dogs in the game, and now shit, look what's going on now. You understand what I'm saying? Who cares? The motherfuckers is here, you bitch ass nigga. That's who care. You understand? Listen, excuse me for 1 second, guys. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go sit with the girls and you go over there and you gossip with them. All right? That's what you're looking for. Girl. Everybody say hi to the ass nigga. See how successful you are. You've been here for 12 years and got 3 subscribers. No, nobody cares about you. You've been here for 12 years and ain't realized you can make money off this motherfucker. You a loser. Now, anyway, back to what I was saying here, because we always got a bitch ass nigga like that. Bro, who cares? Your mama care, because that's why you here. Now, like I was saying, we got hoes out here, a multitude of them. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen and hit the like button. We got a multitude of these women out here that are claiming that Pup did something to them or whatever. But right here, we got Fergie caught up in the mix, and this man that's named Mr. Lowney, who used to work for the royal family, somehow or another ascertained all this information from tapping in on ex-employees of Fergie and ex-employees of Diddy. And I'd like to know who these ex-employees are, because it wasn't us. We don't do shit like that. That's why we had the name street. Anyway, only certain people understand what I'm talking about. There was a reason behind that motherfucking name. You know the shit we went through. I used to show up at work with a pistol on me. Like that was the mind frame I was coming from the streets. So this is the funny thing. My point is Puff ain't doing nothing wrong with this girl. And what's happening is in front of your eyes what's happening is this situation is being used as a shroud to cover the fact that Fergie and Prince Andrew formerly were over there fucking with Jeffrey Epstein over there on that island. That's what they want to do. And that's why I get tired sometimes with black people. This bitch right here actually got caught over there. She got excommunicated, just like his own fucking brother. This is King Charles' brother's ex-bitch. Please keep that in perspective. This is King Charles right now, Queen Elizabeth's son, that didn't become and take the reins until 72 years old. This is his brother, Prince Andrew. This is his motherfucking ex-wife who divorced in 1996, and these motherfuckers still live together. For the kids, of course. But two, this is the way the European families do. European families are very similar to old school families here in the United States. At the time in the 50s and the 60s or whatever, you could go out and have 2-3 girlfriends or whatever wife you knew at home, but as long as everything was paid, she didn't even give a shit. There's some women that are like that now to this day. Now, for the people just now tuning in, I'm going to give y'all a real quick recap of what's going on. Right now, we've got some allegations coming up that Puff was secretly sleeping with Fergie, aka Horseface Killer, from 2002 to 2006. Now, niggas in New York and the tri-state area, I'm gonna imagine niggas in LA, and I'm gonna imagine niggas in Texas, I'm gonna imagine niggas in Chicago and Florida. Y'all can just look at that picture right there and know what the hustle is. Y'all don't know the vibes. Y'all can't look at that picture and be like, oh, I get the vibes. You know what I'm saying? I understand. You know what I mean? So let me go over this real quick and let y'all in on something. I want to start here. The sheer volume of stories. King Charles and Queen Camilla appalled over rumors Sarah Ferguson had sexual relationships with Sean Diddy Combs that are deeply embarrassing. While King Charles and Queen Camilla were already scrambling to pick up the pieces after Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's sexual assault cases. That's the actual royal family's name, if you could mistake it. This is King Charles's brother. Sexual assault scandal and his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein were exposed. They're now dealing with the drama surrounding rumors that Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, who he divorced in 1996, had a sexual relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. The sheer volume of stories surfacing around Sarah's former connections to the controversial figures, and I want to make sure that you understand this is plural. The sheer volume of stories surfacing about Sarah's former connections, as plural with an S, to controversial figures, that's with an S. Make sure you note that down. Has left single royals appalled. Insider recently told this publication people were absolutely aghast. They were aghast. Oh my God. They were aghast when hearing Sarah's name mentioned in both breaths as him has horrified his family. That horrified your family. This is the same man that went back to his own personal horse face killer, which was this broad right here. Look at this ugly motherfucker right here. That bitch ugly as shit. Tell King Charles I said that shit. That bitch ugly as shit. That bitch look like the Crypt Keeper. She look like the Crypt Keeper. Now you gave up that. You gave up Diana, and Diana lost her life, which is the mother of your 2 kids, lost her life for horse face killer right here. See, like the horse face killer on the screen too, they always marry ugly white women. Sorry. That's why he couldn't handle it. Because, see, Diana was pretty. Diana was prettier than a motherfucker. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing different. She would have been pretty today. Diana was beautiful compared to Camilla. Only reason he went with Camilla, because I grew up with her. He's like, the average motherfucker. Yo, man, why you with her? Man, I know a cousin and shit. I know a brother and shit. Me and the other brother, we played football together and shit. It's shit like that. It was fucking fucks. Anyway, while sources denied the allegations, the insider told Closer that the damage was done instantly. King Charles and Queen Camilla especially found the whole circus mortifying. They added, Camilla's furious. She's generally thought that the chapter of the royal scandal was finally fading into the background. Nigga, you had your own royal scandal. You left your beautiful wife to go with this bitch that looked like a fucking elderly Crypt Keeper. This bitch looked like she about 2 steps from it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all can see this ugly bitch. The camera might not even let me do it. I'll get another picture of her. Even the camera upset. Like, nah, I can't do it. I ain't going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Even the camera don't want to fuck with this ugly bitch. But this bitch is ugly. Let's put in Queen Camilla. This is an ugly bitch. You know what I'm saying? And so is Fergie. Fergie an ugly bitch too. But that's not the point. You know what I'm saying? Both of these ugly bitches now got 2 things in common. One, you're part of the royal family. Both of you bitches was married into the royal family. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, this guy's disgusting. Who's disgusting? Me or these motherfuckers? I'm disgusting or these motherfuckers? Because that don't make sense. I'm disgusting for telling the story. Shut the fuck up and sit back and take the ride. So anyway, long story short here, like I was saying, you started dating both of these ugly bitches, both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way somebody gonna look at this bitch right here and say that bitch is beautiful. Ain't no way nobody gonna look at this bitch right here and say this bitch is beautiful. And I done dated white women, Italian women to be specific. And I done dated right here. I know. Disgusting because he's not talking PG rated and talking I want to and fit my criteria. You've been here for 5 years and got 38 followers. Don't nobody give a fuck what you talking about. Talking about somebody's mama. My mama beat your ass and shoot at you. Now, back to what I was saying, y'all. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen and hit the like button. These 2 horse-faced bitches, like I was saying, were married into the family. They were not royals. Just like Diana. Diana wasn't a royal. They were married into a royal family. That means all throughout England, all the bitches you could have picked, you bought these raggy muffin motherfuckers out there. These 2 raggy muffins. You understand what I'm saying? Your brother was married to a raggy muffin. That's this bitch. And you are married to a raggy muffin. That's that bitch Camilla. So don't sit up here and tell me that you motherfucking know, but the family is enthralled in this. You had your own. Go back right now and look up Prince Charles, Queen Camilla, and Princess Diana. Do your research. You understand what I'm talking about very quickly. This nigga had his own controversy. It was laden and all kinds of shit because everybody couldn't figure out, what do you see in Horseface Killer that you don't see in Princess Diana? Diana was beautiful. Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. It's listen, there's women of all different races that certain women just stick out a little bit more than others. Diana, trust me, go look at a picture of her and then go look at a picture of Camilla even back then, and you'd be like, what the fuck was this nigga thinking? Even his own mama was like, Charles, you have to be crazy. They're gonna take that whore. You know what I'm saying? They all thought she was a whore. Talking about some scrutiny and some fuck. Shut the fuck up. The gossip stemmed from Andrew Lowney's book called Entitled, The Rise and Fall of the House of York. See, they want to document people, and that's why I keep trying to tell you. There's a surgence of people out here that don't want to do anything more than bring down houses, bring down people, whatever. I'm not doing this podcast because I want to bring down King Charles or some goofy ass shit like that. Quite the contrary. I just want to make sure the capital right here caught up in some bullshit and is documented. So if I need to break it down for a nigga so they'll understand real quick, it can be there short. You understand me? For real. The gossip stemmed from Andrew Lonnie's book entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York, where he claimed Ferguson, 66, and the rapper met in 2002. She's 10 years older than him. Met in 2002 party thrown by the Epstein's convicted co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. So I had to read that out, Puff, because they were going to say it sooner or later. You was at a party that Ghislaine Maxwell threw. You wasn't at a party that Epstein threw, or Epstein was even at. It was Ghislaine Maxwell. Un compris, mademoiselle, oui, un français. It was that bitch. The author alleges the two became secret friends with benefits for years, claiming that they would book pricey hotel rooms to hook up across the globe. They would book pricey hotel rooms and hook up. Sound familiar? You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm asking the question. I'm like, did you have the prostitutes coming over there? I got to know, Puff. Did you have the look, Puff. You tell me, all right? I just got it for shits and giggles. I got to know. Did you have the prostitutes coming down there? Well, we can laugh about it out there. You get ready to come home a little bit. Did you have the prostitutes busting down Fergie too? I got to know, nigga. I got to know. Because if she was busted down like Cassie was busted down, we got a whole other story. The author alleged the two became secret friends with benefits for years, claiming they would book pricey hotel rooms to hook up across the globe. The book also claimed I Need a Girl crooner was obsessed with the royal family, even bragged about slamming the famous... That's how the nigga talk. I slammed that shit. Another allegation said the rapper admitted that he could not wait until Fergie's daughters come of age, referring to the two girls, Andrew, Prince Eugene, now 36, and Prince. That's it. I think that's a lie. I don't even see Puff saying some shit like that. Talking about now, and like I said before, another allegation said the rapper admitted he could not wait for Fergie's daughter to come out. I wish I would stop that shit. Puff ain't into no kids. Puff has his own kids. Puff ain't into no motherfucking kids. I was around those people for 17 fucking years. I went out of state with them, stayed in the whole same hotels and folks stayed at and every fucking thing else. Puff ain't into no motherfucking kids, man. Stop that shit. Y'all ain't even had one story. The prosecutor themselves, when it brought to the story, didn't even bring it up because there was no, and they was trying to get him on drug charges, gun charges, extortion, what else the fuck, money laundering. They're trying to get him on all kinds of shit. They wouldn't throw that shit in. That would have been a nail in the fucking coffin right there. Most of those convictions have a mandatory like 25 fucking years. You just would have got a conviction on one of those. You would have been done. What child wouldn't have showed up? You need an example? When Michael Jackson, years after Michael Jackson allegedly, because they tried to take down Michael Jackson the same way too. They tried to take down Michael Jackson with all these child abuse allegations and everything like that or whatever. You fast forward, these kids come in and they go to court and everything like that. Michael Jackson walk out the motherfucker like George Jefferson with the Nation of Islam behind him. Understand me? With the Nation of Islam as his bodyguards. You understand me? And so you got to be very careful when you join these bandwagons with people, whatever. Join these bandwagons with people here on social media and they try to take down a person of color. It could be something behind it. And Michael Jackson proved that. He said, yo, Tony Montana is the worst person in the world. I think he said it one time. Then he followed that up, but he said something else. He said, yeah, I went and bought the Beatles catalog. They tried to take Mike out for that. If you look at R. Kelly, whether you like him or don't like him or whatever, same thing happened there. He was stripped of his catalog. All them songs he wrote, co-wrote, or whatever, he was stripped of. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times, this ain't the first time they've done this. They try to do it to Etta James. They try to do it to many of different black. If you look back, see, I tell people, sometimes you got to look back and you can see what the future is and what to avoid. If you look at Sammy Davis Jr., Red Fox, if you look at many other different, like, established people that spent 30, 40 years making it. You understand what I'm saying? What you'll find is there's always a similarity. They want to make sure that they don't have money. And listen to me very well, because this is something that y'all must understand. See, it's not about taking your money away in the immediate. It's so that your offspring doesn't have money. If your offspring doesn't have money, and they learned this from the slave trade, if your offspring doesn't have money, that means that your DNA sequence will end somewhere, and therefore in the future, you will never be a threat, nor will your offspring. I can't allow your offspring to become president. I can't allow your offspring to become CEO. I can't allow your offspring to buy property over here. I have to stop you. So even if you work 30 to 40 or 50 years or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take everything from you. And they did just, they sold Red Fox's shit on the front yard of his house. Sammy Davis Jr., they did everything after he ran with the Rat Pack, Dean Martin, and all the motherfuckers. They turned around and made Sammy, who was half Puerto Rican. A lot of people don't know this. Sammy Davis Jr. was half Puerto Rican. But most people will be like, oh, he's fully black. No, he wasn't. Sammy Davis Jr.'s mother was half Puerto Rican and his father was half Cuban. Go look that up. Sammy was Puerto Rican, Cuban, and black. That's what I be telling you, motherfuckers. Y'all be killing me with that shit. Anyway, long story short here, they did the same thing to Sammy Davis Jr. You look at other black stars, you'll see the same thing, and particularly the males. See, the males are different. A woman's cutoff rate is around about what, with intravernal and all that shit, about 52 nowadays, or whatever the case may be. You know, you can get off or whatever up to. Well, man, in the book, even in the great book, because I got to watch what I say. A man can have a baby up until he's 70 something, 80 something years old, as Noah did, as Shem did, as Abraham was promised before he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, your wife, and I think his wife at the time was like 80 or 90 something, your wife will bear, and God told him this, your wife will bear a child. He told Abraham this, as Abraham fed them and everything else or whatever. Lot, same situation, you know, like I could keep going on and on and on. I don't like to get too political, too religious, because some people, they get offended by it. But, and that's just, you know, their interpretations, what version of the Bible they read, what they believe in. I don't want to insult nobody. I'm very firm with that. My point is, you have these individuals nowadays, because this man's writing a book. I want to shift the boat here. You have these individuals that don't want to see your offspring have money. See, when they went after Young King, they went after motherfucking, and I ain't gonna say all y'all like that, but you know what I'm talking about. They only went after the boys. They ain't go after the girls. They only went after King, and they only went after Justin. Pay attention. They only went after King. They only went after Justin. When you see the house raid, you don't see none of the girls with their hands on top of their head, walking out backwards or whatever. You see the boys. See the boys, and that's what you got to understand. The boys are the key. That's what they really want. See, let me give you an example. This is simple warfare. When you had German garrisons, the current president is German, by the way. First generation German. Who grew up in Queens, New York. To be exact, Jamaica Estates. When you have a raid, this goes all the way to Genghis Khan, this goes all the way to Napoleon or whatever. You have a raid and the Mongolians, everybody. When you have a raid of a village or whatever, you can even see this depicted in movies. The first thing you do is you take out all the motherfucking men. And any children that are left over, you decide to keep them. You keep them only at a certain age. So if they're anything above 7 years old, they're going to remember. And you don't want that child growing up and turning around and now wanting revenge. So they would keep them like to the point where they don't remember. You know, a great example of this, there was a movie out a long time ago. What was it came with? Underworld. It depicted the same thing that I'm talking about. It was a vampire versus what they called the Lycans, what they were werewolves. And the same dichotomy was there. You know, the head vampire, which was the oldest vampire, he had came into a village, killed everybody in the village, but he felt some type of sympathy for this one young girl. So he took her under his own tutelage, formed her into a vampire, turned her into a vampire. She went on to strike everybody and kill everybody in the name of other vampires, never knowing her past. So the point is, when they have these situations, what you're seeing is you're seeing them trying to halt the progression of the boys. The boys are the key. The boys are the key to you having babies. The boys are the key to you having population. The boys are the key, more importantly, to your money. That's what you're worried about. See, with money, I can buy more property. With money, I can buy a private plane. With money, I can do a lot of things. And yes, before y'all get into that, yes, Puff sold his Gulfstream. So what? I wouldn't want that shit either. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? What, you know the maintenance on that motherfucker? Because I know y'all gonna bring it up next. I heard Puff sold his Gulfstream airplane. Ha ha, he must be bro. Compared to who? You? You know the maintenance on the Gulfstream? Huh? You know the maintenance on that? You know how much it costs to leave it sitting in an airplane hangar a month? Do you know the price on that now? Because you don't know nothing about money. I rode with these niggas for 17 years. I know money in a different definition than you do, nigga. Please believe that. It costs a lot of money. 50 Cent When 50 Cent had his house out here in Connecticut, it's a little bit further out of Connecticut, he was paying $12,000 a month for the upkeep of that house. And I know that's a horrible person to use. A contrast in this situation, but it's the truth. He was paying 12 grand a month. This is out his own mouth, 12 grand a month. Y'all don't know the maintenance costs. That's why you don't know nothing about no real money. You understand what I'm saying? So, and you got to take in perspective. Most of these niggas is talking to us, they ain't never been outside the third floor of the apartment. You understand what I mean? Of course he sold the plane. I would have sold it too. There's other things we could put the money into. You understand what I'm saying? There's other things we could put the money into. I want to know who these people are that are talking to these people and giving this information about these different cities. Because the man, like this Lowney guy that's writing this book, it's odd to me because he used to work for the royal family, but now he's writing a tell-all. He's contacted people that he said used to work for Bad Boy Entertainment, which really I underline that a lot. Because, see, here's a little secret. A lot of them niggas that used to work for Bad Boy are doing worse than I am. Not only you niggas ain't got no hits no more, nobody calling you to produce no more, nobody calling you to be this guy no more, that guy no more, are they? Puff was your lifeline. And you had an opportunity to keep the lifeline if you would have just did the simple. You could have came down there with a fucking mask on. Kanye West came down there and pulled up in a fucking joint, hopped out the car, walked in like George Jefferson. G. Depp came down there like a trooper and walked in motherfucking head first. I was down there almost every day out of the week for every week except for 2 weeks of that trial. I was there. And I looked around and I ain't seen nobody from Bad Boy. But y'all niggas got time to sit down and talk to niggas over in Europe, though, about what ex Capo may or may have not been doing. You motherfuckers make me disgusted. Don't you ever speak to me. You see me out in I mean that shit too. I don't want to talk to a like name one because you know what it tells me? He ain't solid. That's one. See, my solidness. See, I do this for integrity. And I do it because I know what's right and what's wrong. I always stuck with the same palette. Puff wasn't guilty of this shit you was talking about. I was around these niggas for 17 years. I ain't never seen none of this shit you talking about. I'd have been all across the country. And I'm talking about most of the places we've been there 5, 6, 7 times with him. Year after year, Memorial Day weekend, where his house was. So if he had more access to anything, it would be down in Miami. You understand what I'm saying? We went to Fontainebleau, Dream, everywhere. But some of the most luxurious. We partied with Chris motherfucking Brown and had a great time. You know what I'm saying? Chris buying us all kinds of shit. You understand? So shout out to the nigga Rod. He know that nigga. That's his man's. My point is, just like Chris Brown and many other men of color or whatever, this is a psychological ploy. The psychological ploy has been used since the creation of this little thing we call a country of ours, and since the times of slavery when it made many millionaires in the South specifically. And when the Civil War was ended, these same millionaires were no longer millionaires because all their help was gone. What's going on? All their help was gone. And that's where you have to understand the constitution of this and what I'm speaking of. When I'm telling you, when you have stories like this or whatever, you start seeing the boys attached to stories and shit like that, like they went after King Combs and they went after Christian. Excuse me, I said Christian too. They both wanted the same. And they went after Justin or whatever, had the hands up in the air, whatever. That was to scare the boys. They didn't do that to the girls. They wanted to scare the boys. And this will happen to you too. We'll come get you too, nigga. And I hope King and I hope Justin, y'all understand this. Justin, I go all the way back down there in the 20s when your daddy opened the motherfucking restaurant. We was there the opening night, Justin's in New York City. We was there. You know what I'm saying? I remember at that time, who was it? It was, his name started with a T. I can't remember his name to save my life. Him, Sham, June. Who else? Prez was down there with us. Malcolm was down there with us. And Tucker, that's his name, Tucker. Tucker was down there with us. Yeah, man, we go that far back. You know what I'm saying? So trust me when I tell you, boy, don't let these motherfuckers scare you. They want to scare you so you'll put your kid, when you have your kids, in the same mentality. Be scared of us. You can't have any money. We'll take it. You understand? Make sure you're wary of that. It's still a war, boy. Whether you rich, poor, whatever, it's still a war. And these motherfuckers will get you. And like they say in Minister Society, you the prey. Oh, they didn't up the game now. They didn't up the game now. They said, I take everything. I take everything. They thought it was going to take everything from Puffin. It didn't happen like that. Diddy's rep said this is and I want to read that part right there because I didn't even read that part. Let me read that part right there for y'all. Diddy's spokesman said it's utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. I'll let you be the judge of that. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen, hit that like button if y'all feeling what I'm saying. I want to read the original article that I was reading for y'all so y'all can get a little bit comprehensive thought of what I'm talking about here. And I'll just read this one right here. This is a trusted site, so I think I can read it from right here. And like I said, what we're talking about is Fergie, who's 66 years old, 10 years the senior of Puff, and a so-called relationship that they had back in the days, reportedly for money, because kind of find out, I want y'all to say it like it was, this bitch was down on the luck. This is why I try to tell y'all, like in that Cameron movie, what was it, Killer Season? He said, that's your problem now. You gotta stop feeding bitches. And I mean that with love, Capo. That's your problem now. You gotta stop feeding bitches. If it ain't baby mamas or somebody, stop feeding bitches. When you come home, don't be feeding bitches. Don't take a bitch hugging you and say, oh, we missed you. Especially watch out for the motherfuckers. Oh, it's going to be, oh, let's get, it's like they're doing with Drake now. Now, a lot of niggas want to come back around Drake. I use Drake as a perfect example of this shit. A lot of niggas want to come back around Drake. And you know, I don't know what Drake got the idea and the concept for that album, just telling niggas how he feel, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I just like to say, I feel a lot of ways, same way similar. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain what I'm talking about. I will say this, and I'll say this clear. They tried to take down Drake too. And they knew Drake had a child, or maybe possibly children. I don't know. That's not my business. But at least I know of Adonis, his one child. See, they can never be a black king for a long time. That's what y'all got to understand that. Understand that. Oh, history into this. You just got to, a lot of y'all niggas, when you get back out here, start digging back into history, you'll see there can never be a black king for a long, long time. Barack Obama won 2 elections. They got tired of him. They said, oh, no, we need a white president again. And look what you got. We need a white president again. But taking the color out of it. No, not taking the color out of it. Fuck that. It's surreal. There can never be a black king, especially in America, for a long, long time. Nor will there be a Latin or any other brown or motherfucker. You will take orders if you want to be here with us. That's how they feel and that's how they think. Y'all don't know these people. We do. Trust me when I tell you this. There are elements like that. And this is one of the few times you will get something out of me like this. There are elements like that out there. And they have different ways and means and mechanisms to make you a sure believer if you don't think you are. So, I'll end that right there. But I will tell you this, boys, all black boys, especially with a black boy or a Latin boy getting money. Don't you think for a minute, don't you get cocky. I saw Max B do that the other day. Who the fuck is Big Daddy Kane? I just came over for 18 years, I'm on top of the game. Nigga, you don't do that. You don't do that. And French, you should have caught him and be like, shh. What's this nigga's name? He locked up right now. Saw they took him down too, right? Son for Chicago. I like Son too. Old block niggas. Like Dirk. Just like they took down Dirk. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know if he's guilty for that shit that he did or whatever. It's more pertinent for them now to take y'all down because of pure simple fact. Unlike many of us in my generation, which is a one generation under Puff's generation, they find it a harder time trying to control us and y'all. You understand what I'm saying? We're rebellious. And so we're more of a problem than what they had with the other generations. The other generations, they will be assimilated. They like to assimilate a lot. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, what can I do? You don't believe me? Listen, Angela Davis started out as a pro-black and, hey, power to the people, right? And then the bitch started working at Harvard University. Cornell West used to be a power to the people. And he's now working at Harvard University. He didn't talk to regular niggas. Until he's getting ready to try to run for president. He has conversations with niggas, but it's in an environment which was paid for his time. And you must believe this. These people have agents and directors and stuff like that to help them or whatever. So what I'm trying to tell you boys, if I can leave you with anything, I would tell you this, because you are me and I am you. Yo soy el cubano la mareno, ahí se yo soy un dos, and yo soy un negro. Por ahí vida, ahí se, tú sabes, claro que sí. If I had to tell y'all anything, I would tell y'all this. Be careful, number one, boys, of the hoes y'all have around y'all. Excuse me if I offended anybody. I'm not talking about the ladies, because ladies don't do shit like that. A lady will teach you how to open a business before she open her legs. A lady will teach you to open a business before she open her legs. So stay away from ill-gotten women, for one. Don't you boys, Christian or King, if you haven't done it, excuse me, King or Justin, if you haven't done it yet, don't go out here having no babies right now. Don't get not a bitch pregnant right now. You understand me? Both of y'all. Don't y'all get none of these raggedy hoes motherfucking pregnant right now. And if you already got one coming on the way and she's solid with you, that's different. But don't go get none of these motherfucking hoes pregnant right now. They'll use it against you. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. Oh, he ran and started a family now because he's afraid of the charges and the blah, 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 blah. That's how they'll run it. So be careful, all right? Number two, let me tell you what I'm talking about here. For all the people out there that take verbatim what these tell-all fucking authors write, start asking yourself a question. This motherfucking Mr. Lowney used to work for the royal family. He says that he just had the epiphany because of lack of ambition or whatever the case may be, or lack of accomplishment. That's what I like to say. Lack of accomplishment gave him and inspired him to write this tell-all book about a bitch that he used to work up under, which would be that bitch right there. That bitch right there. That bitch. You now want to write a tell-all book. Niggas that was formerly a Bad Boy Entertainment want to come to you and tell all they know to you for a price, of course. You understand what I'm saying? Because little do they know, a lot of y'all niggas is online smiling, and I seen some of the gigs y'all take. I'm watching y'all niggas too, just like you watching me, nigga. Huh? I'm watching you just like you watching me. A lot of these y'all niggas ain't doing so good, and y'all left Puff before Puff went to jail. Let that sink in. They left Puff before Puff went to jail. Years before it was even a thought that Puff was going to jail or be in the courtroom. These niggas left. They jumped ship. I ain't never jumped ship. Even when I had the back up against, when niggas was down there at that fucking courthouse, I had my back up against the wall, and niggas thought I was a different person. I was like, nigga, you don't know who around the corner. Only thing I gotta do is walk right around the corner to these projects and tell these niggas, yo, it's up right now. You're done. You're not making it off that block, dog. Trust me, they don't give a fuck if the police out there or not, nigga. Yo, give me the Scully, son. All right, I got you. And give me the bit of that. You know what I mean? What we doing? Bit out. You know what I mean? Fuck the cop, nigga. Pull out. Yo, hit the west side, nigga. I'm pulling. Yo, you know what I'm saying? It's like that, nigga. We gets it. So I don't understand when, and that's no threat to nobody, but I don't understand when niggas sit around and they had all these different, you know, a lot of niggas ain't even apologize for the shit they said down there at that courthouse that was completely wrong. There's one nigga that keep on trying to walk it back, and I seen King post this nigga one day. I said, nah, don't post that pussy ass nigga. That pussy ass light skinned nigga from Canada to wear the glasses, be trying to act like he's so down. And nigga, at one point you was like, oh, it ain't looking good for Diddy. I think the prosecution might have a way. And you ran that shit for about 3 weeks till you started seeing bitches was lying and shit. And you tried to switch it up. And I was always know you wasn't, nigga. And I came up to you in your face 3 times and told you what's up, and you weren't gonna do shit about it. And I hope you watch it. I came up to your face on the phone during the day that he was convicted. I was the one that started reporting the shit before you did, and you was in the courtroom. I was the person that walked up to you the first, what was it? The first time I seen you was probably 3 weeks into the trial. I walked up to you, past you, and introduced myself to you and told you who I was. I said, I'm Davin Lewis, formerly of Bad Boy Entertainment. And from that point on, and I think before that, you knew who I was. Then there was a second time when you started talking that down shit. I don't think Puff gonna be good today. I don't think Puff gonna make it. And I walked up and I approached you. So let's not pretend like niggas ain't approach you, niggas ain't saying nothing to you, because that's how the nigga run it. You know what I mean? I know how sucker niggas run it or whatever. But that nigga from Canada, he was a funny ass nigga. And I saw Young King. He had posted this nigga. I said, nah, don't post that sucker ass nigga. Don't post that sucker ass nigga. I'm glad you removed it too. Don't post that sucker ass. That nigga was talking about your daddy. Oh, and he was talking about it in that salacious way. Not as he was making a couple mentions. He was talking about it in that salacious way, like a lot of those podcasters was down there doing and collected hundreds of dollars. How do you dumb motherfuckers that gave him all that money? How do you feel? And then you were telling people, it's gonna blow your mind. I just recently found, let me tell you how the gossiping thing goes so y'all can understand. I just recently found a page that had been made about me about a year ago. And it was just taking clips and shit and putting voiceovers and music over it, and taking the what's the name and putting it certain places or whatever. Mind you, I live better than most of these people that's talking shit, right? And it became apparent to me when I was down at that Diddy trial that there was a lot of other people that were sitting out there and they were upset as well that I was down there because I was part of the company. If you're upset about that, that means you a bitch ass nigga. You wouldn't stand by your peoples. And anybody that knows you and paying attention to you, they should get the fuck away from you right now because you're going to do the exact same thing to them eventually. So I'm not that type of nigga. Nah, nigga, I've been rolling with them niggas. What the fuck's the problem now? I just like my crew. My niggas started getting busted or whatever. It was the same thing. We go to court with niggas. Like, yo, fuck that. What time that nigga in there today? I don't know. They probably bring him upstairs about 1 o'clock. You know, the ice cream truck show up out there. So we go upstairs, we sit there, we be there for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the fuck it is. This is not new to me. That was new for y'all. But the energy that was put in, and it still is just like that, because I just found that channel and I put it in my community section. I'll show it again. Because I made sure that YouTube didn't take it down because I wanted to show that as an example of how sick these motherfuckers are. This was a woman that created the channel for one. We found that much out. I know her exact name and I know exactly who she is, but I don't say nothing about it. Number two, funny thing about it is y'all got all this energy to make a whole channel dedicated to me, but what was your Charlie Kirk channel? What was your Chud the Builder channel? What was your, what's his name? Something the Clown channel. Clown the Crusader channel. That's a new motherfucker now. Now hood judges of YouTube God. Yeah, it's like grown men. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? Now niggas are gospel. Who cares? You know, every time I get a person to come in talking about who cares or whatever, it's you that care, nigga. It's you that care. What you gonna do about it anyway? You wanna shoot it out, nigga? What you wanna do? You wanna shoot it out? Say yes or no, quick. If you was really with it, you would say quick. We'll be meeting up at. You wanna see how live shit can get? What's up? What's up? What's up? Nah, maybe you thought about it. All right, I got you. The bitch ass nigga. Let me see what you got here. 1 year and got 1 point. Oh yeah, you looking for some. Oh nah, you ain't gonna get no flow off my channel. No. You be having a lot of them vloggers. He been here for 5 years trying to get some flow, so he's trying to get my attention, so I'll respond to him. Nah, bitch nigga. But you see what I'm talking about. He said, who care? Why are you saying who care when I'm talking about my story? There's an abundance of people, you must understand this, within, unfortunately, the black community that only pray, and I want y'all to spread this out, especially if you're not black American, that pray only specifically on their own. I'm going to underline that for you one more time. Pray on specifically only their own. So even though I was the first motherfucker down there for 1, 2, 3 arraignments, and the motherfuckers just start coming down there from out of state and everywhere else until the trial started. You understand what I'm saying? Your mother's a jackass, and you can't flex if you coming in here and you been here for 11 months and no subscribers. You can't flex like that. You the jackass. You got a fake profile. You ain't got your picture there. You got a letter for your name, and you just randomly come in here with a random name. And Jay's a jackass. What about Epstein? Is he a jackass too? Huh? What about Harvey Weinstein? Is he a jackass? Write their name in the chat room. Go ahead, bitch nigga. I'll give you a chance. Go ahead. Go ahead, bitch nigga. Go ahead, bitch nigga. Write Harvey Weinstein, write Epstein in this motherfucker. Huh? Because they did worse. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Bitch ass, hoe ass nigga. I can't stand a hoe ass nigga like you. You understand what I'm saying? Made the worst happen to you. Anyway, long story short, just like you see these bitch ass niggas right now, by example, what they did was they formed a little network and they told people, literally, if you see his podcast or you see him down there, don't donate to him because he connected with Diddy. Bitch, what you want me to do? Get in a time machine and go back in time and be like, oh, okay, I ain't never worked here. Now let's go back and forward in time where it's trial start and now to remove away the connection. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's sucker shit. And any nigga that suggested that you should do that and don't see through the pain of what it is, then you a sucker too. I can only look at you as a sucker. You a nigga that will abandon people. You are a nigga that will run in the face of danger. You a coward. You a coward. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't have no room for cowards. Before I got with Bad Boy Entertainment, nigga, I was in the street for real with a beeper. You know what I'm saying? And a crew of about 30 motherfuckers that wasn't black dudes. No offense to anybody who's black, but they wasn't black dudes. I ran with Italians and Latinos. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying no offense. And we had a couple of black dudes here and there, but the majority of the crew was Latino. And Italian. And so, especially our leadership. We were very organized. We were very violent, as everybody remember. We were very extremely violent. People were scared of us. And so, you know, to go from that to this right here was a blessing for me because I had just gotten out of jail like 3 months prior to that. And this was the opportunity that God brought to me. So I said, this is the opportunity to save my life and kept me from the street because I would have went right back. I went back a second time for selling weed that time. You know what I'm saying? They called me like, what, 2 pounds of weed or something like that. Like, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did past sense. And so it was scary, but you know, we made it through it. And I told friends, and I remember they laughed at me at the time. I said, yo, I'm gonna get with a record company, so because I had rapped in high school. I said, I'm gonna get with a record company, watch. And first thing you know, I'm in Times Square one day, and the first person I see is this nigga Crone. Shout out to Crone, you know what I'm saying? Fuck y'all niggas, even though y'all ain't inbox me and tell me happy birthday either. I know y'all meant to do. Y'all sent y'all messages. I get it. But long story short, I met that nigga, and between him and that company, I was out of the game. You know what I'm saying? I never looked back and never went back. None of that. You know what I mean? So inevitably, whether y'all like it or not, Puff saved my motherfucking life for what it could have been. I went all across the country. I saw things that I had never thought I would see before. Stayed in places I'd never seen. Like, I've had a great life, and I understand that's why I can't connect with a lot of people, because a lot of people haven't had my life, you know? So ending it with that, that's all I got to say, or whatever, you know what I mean? It was just crazy how the black community came together, just like they came together to try to down Puff, and then at the end they were wrong, and then they didn't ask for any of those vloggers for their money back. All these vloggers, they've been coming out the courtroom telling you this and that was going on. I'm telling y'all something different. I'm like, no, that's not what's going on. And they chose to stay with that. So it is what it is. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App for one. I'm not funded anymore because I talk shit like this. So the black community has told everybody else in the black community don't fund me. But we're funding a dude right now named Sean G, who's sitting in an Atlanta prison, I believe. It's in Atlanta or Florida. He's sitting in a prison right now, convicted of him and 4 other people of killing Julio Fulio. And this guy's convicted to life. He has an Instagram account that has a social media manager that he's promoted. He's taking donations, so people are donating to this man that killed someone that looked just like you and me. You know what I mean? And you got to rewind that back, baby. We ain't doing the whole show over, you know, like if it was some, I ain't getting no cash apps, I ain't getting no super chats, so I can't be doing the rewind just for one person. Respectfully, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely can't do it. It's about 3 something too. I gotta go. But yeah, man, it's just what it is. So guys, make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Make sure y'all hit the what's the name. But I'm just like, damn, we live in a world where in black society you can kill another black man and other blacks will celebrate you. You understand what I'm saying? Other dudes will celebrate you and give you money. This man is popular for killing another black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what respondable means, but that's not even a word. What is respondable? What does that mean? Anyway, long story short, this is where we're at here on the social media thing. So, oh yeah, one other thing. So I figured something out that I could do, right? I want to talk about this because this is my own personal shit real quick. Since because of that and the YouTube community that's on here, whatever, these people are not for me. Like I'm never going to get a super chat on here. I'm never going to get any cash apps on here. That's just the way it is. Black people don't like me, especially yesterday after I said what I said about Tariq Nasheed. And if you want an update of that, I'll just tell you real quick. Yesterday I said about Tariq Nasheed because of this Chud the Builder nigga that was openly running around with a gun pointing it, pepper spraying people, everything else or whatever. I said, where's the FBA at? The same FBA that come in and threaten me or threaten other people all the time or whatever. You better be with us. Where were those niggas boots on ground when this nigga was running around spraying little black girls and shit like that? Now what I found was none of them FBA niggas, yeah, they threw up a post or whatever, but none of them was responsible with the hammer. But these are the same people that would get on, and I showed the interaction I had on Tariq Nasheed's page, where he had this one man, yo, you pussy nigga, hey nigga, da 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 da. I said, how come you ain't over at none of the white supremacist pages saying that shit? And then it dawned on me, these niggas are just talkers. So it's just like that brother Polite nigga, he was just a talker. I'm doing the Rolls Royce diaries now. Talkers. They ain't mean that shit. It was just talking. I come from a group of motherfuckers, man. Let me tell y'all something. My uncles and all them on my mom's side. And my mother, she was into that pro-black movement. She left it too because she started seeing the same things. A lot of these people in here had this fucking storytelling. They're not really involved in it. Because if you would have, I'm gonna give you an example. There's a black woman right now, and I want to say her name because I like this motherfucker right here. I like this woman right here. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I say her name right. For saying the N-word. Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure I say her motherfucking name right. Where my girl at? Yeah, there she go right there. I ain't even got to go that far. I'm going to play this version of it. Hold on 1 second, y'all. This is my chick right here. I want to make sure I give her motherfucking respect because you know, like, y'all hear me say shit on here, whatever, all the time or whatever, but if you really know me, you know. I'm going to show y'all this video right here.
Oh, here we go.
What is her name? Because I need to know her motherfucking name. Why does this keep clicking off, too? I keep pressing play on it, it keeps clicking off. What the fuck is that about? Okay, can I see the video now? Sometimes it's an app messes up or whatever, but this is black woman who wears a cowboy hat. She kind of looks like, I'm trying to think.
Oh, here we go. So, Mr. Nigga right here. Yeah, that's your ass. So you don't want you the one like call people niggas. Call me a
I bet you won't call in front of a black man.
I bet you won't call me a...
Let me help you. You call a black woman N-word, call me that.
No, call me
I
that.
dare you to do it, and I swear for God, I'll make you taste the ancestors.
Me too.
You a coward. Call that black woman the N-word. You a real coward.
Why would you do that? No, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
I guarantee
y'all heard that?
do it in front of me.
Come on. Come on.
I know you won't. Say the N-word in front of me.
Come on. Down in there.
And I'll give you a taste everything for the ancestors.
Down in there.
Say it in front of me. I dare you to say it. What is your name? It's Quanell X, but you'll learn it real well today.
Yeah.
Say it. I bet you won't say a word in my face. I see you talk to black women like that by themselves.
This is how you have to do it.
Intimidate black women by themselves. When a black man, you will open your mouth. I dare you to say it.
What is her
I
name?
dare you to say it.
What is her name?
Oh, here we go. So,
Cause I didn't seen her do so much shit, and I know she got to be from Chicago or something like that. That's what I like about it. I always get along with Chicago motherfuckers, cause y'all niggas is just like New York niggas. And a lot of times you'll find Chicago motherfuckers in New York. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to what's his name? Famous Richard on King David. What's going on, Missy? What's shouting out? What's happening? Yeah, man. I'm trying to figure out what this girl's name is. Y'all know her voice. I just don't know her name. I know Quanell X, but who is the woman that's with him? I like her. I like her a lot. I said, she remind me of the chicks that I know. That's bitches I know. Do something now. What's up? I got Dominican and black girls and Honduran girls that are like that. That was definitely, I can't remember her name. I would have to look it up. Let me see if it'll come up here. Let me see if it'll come up here. I want to say her name respectfully because I like her. I've seen her a lot of different places. I've seen her always carry herself and always be somebody that I can say. I think her name is Matthews. Let me find out she connected to somebody I know named Matthews. Yeah, Dr. Matthews, that's her name.
I'm not rocking with that.
And I think she might be, yo, it's a weird shit. She might be related to one of my exes. That's the crazy because their last name is Matthews. That's crazy.
I'm done with this.
That's her right there, though. If y'all haven't seen her before.
Dr. Matthews announced at a press conference
Hold on, let me turn this
today
off
that she's
quick.
withdrawing her endorsement of Congressman Christian Menifee following allegations surrounding the
We
treatment
need
of
more
Tony
women like
Underwood's
this out
family
here.
after an officer-involved shooting involving Houston police while Menifee was serving as Harris County attorney.
If y'all want somebody to get behind,
Underwood's family and
it's this woman right here.
discussed a lawsuit filed
Hold on,
last
this
week
thing is
connected to the
acting
case.
crazy right now. Hold on a
Attorneys
second. I
representing
need so
the
many
family
different
said Underwood was
I need some
hospitalized
new
for
devices.
79 days before dying.
Sad thing is
and
I
that
don't
relatives
get
were denied access to
donations.
see him for
It is what it is. We have to work it out. But we'll get it. We'll get it. Hold on one second. But yeah, her name is Dr. Matthews and Cornell X. And they confront attorney Michael Phillips. That's his name. And this was a white guy. And I don't know what this was in front of, but he called somebody a nigga in court. So yeah, I'll let you see it. But I want you to see the difference between. I want y'all to see the difference between. Pay attention to this when y'all see this. I want y'all to see the difference between the black people in the background that won't say nothing and almost appalled at this for saying to this white senator, you can't say that to that white man. I want y'all to see this.
Right here. Yeah, that's your ass.
So you don't want like saying
You want like call people niggas.
You gonna call?
Oh, come on, man. Y'all forgive me. I need a new device, so it is what it is. Ain't nobody donating to me, so y'all gonna have to deal with it like that. And I ain't paying for StreamYard no more because they wouldn't help out with that either. But you know what? Don't even worry about it. Let me get up on off of here. Ain't nobody care about this black woman, so it is what it is. But I wanted to show her that. Y'all guys, make sure that for the ones that are still here, make sure you hit the like button. If you don't, that's cool anyway. Glad I had a good little rapport with y'all. Whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my day. Get up on these editing or whatever. Like, I don't stay here too long, but I just want to say this for the people that remain in here. I will be removed. I'm not be removing. I will be doing mostly uploads on this channel from now on. I just reached the peak at somewhere else that I was building something that a few of y'all sent y'all a link for that. It's like I sent y'all the link before last time or whatever. And that's where y'all gonna find me on a live streaming thing because I can make more money there. And that's the key to the game right now. I mean, I've been sitting here for 2 hours and then they make $10. You know what I'm saying? Except for with the app. And that's cool. I can make money with the app. But I just want to make sure that y'all know that we will be moving, so the lives will not be over here as much. I'll still do lives from time to time over here, whatever. Maybe sometimes it's a tester to see reaction or whatever before I do it over in the other spot. But if you're already over at the other spot, that's where we're going to be doing the lives at from now on. So if you're already over there and I sent you the link to it, I've done it very secretly to many of y'all. It's only a few of y'all. But I want y'all to be over there. This channel is going to be strictly for uploads, and every now and then, maybe once a week, twice a week, we do a live if it's something important to talk about. Other than that, this channel is going. We're gonna have a funeral for this channel. You understand what I'm saying? There's no financial support here. For one, I have 80% of men that follow me, and 80% of these men are either bothered by something I have to say, haters, or whatever the case may be. But I can tell by the demographics in YouTube Studio, so. I'm not supported by black men. The black women, they don't support me. Latin men, they don't support me. Latin women, they don't support me. The last time I was donated to was from a black woman that was doing my birthday, and that was on a goal of $500, which I'd had up for a month. And I only made $50 of that $500, and I got 30K subscribers. So it's quite easy to see that the following here is not what it used to be. It's basically a bunch of rigmarole and trash. And so we have to escape that and go to a different venue, unfortunately, that has a little bit more to offer. I'm not, contrary to popular belief, I am not financed by anybody. When I get up here and I talk about Puff or whoever I'm defending, I'm doing that off the muscle of myself and what I just know is right or whatever. So, guys, make sure y'all hit up that super chat sometimes, hit up the Cash App or whatever. But I just want to let you know that if you see less and less of me, especially this summer, because we got a whole bunch of shit going on this summer, and that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, how can I make money, still go to the shit that I want to go to, film that, not have to take the risk of taking the loss because of filming for y'all that are not going to donate nothing. I can still make money with them regardless. So I said, this is the spot I need to be. So for y'all that are over there at that other spot, y'all gonna love it. Trust me, I already got shit planned out, what I'm gonna do, whatever. But I want to give a shout out to my homie and them. You understand what I'm saying? Who's a popular vlogger. who was like, no, you need to be over here and you can get it quick. I said, damn, I did that in a week. I got enough niggas to get monetized in a week, so we got monetized over there. So I'm gonna start doing lives over there and leave this format alone. This format right now is it's dying. It's on its last leg. It's saturated with riffraff. It's saturated with this men and women gossiping only about other black people every fucking day. It's boring. The incentivism to get donated to is gone. Women have almost collapsed that, especially black women. They have made it so they're telling you, without telling you, do not donate to men of color, only donate to women of color, whether they're telling a lie or telling the truth. And so happens to be, because let me give you an example. I said yesterday, you don't have to listen if you don't want to. You can go ahead, especially if you're not going to donate a dime. You can go ahead about your business. This segment's not for you. But I said yesterday, and a lot of people got offended about it, I said about the FBA, I said something. I said, you motherfuckers look weak. Now, they took it from a perspective of, oh my God, he's insulting me, because there's always emotions first. These will be the same niggas that tell you think it with emotions, but they'll give you an emotional response when you say something to them. I proved this yesterday by showing what my interaction was with one nigga. He kept calling me pussy, this, that, and the other, and the third. I'm like, nigga, how you know I won't kill you? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, niggas will talk based on somebody's facial features and shit like that. I'm like, nigga, if I wanted to get you, you would be done. There's nothing you can do about it. Please keep that in order. Entonces, sabe, para la gente la mexicano ahí se, entonces, vida pero en Los Ángeles ahí se. Claro que sí. Esta cabrón no tiene la grica, entonces, no torre en es. Nada más. Parte. Anyway, long story short, you in danger, pal. Watch your fucking mouth with me. Him small, but him big. You see what I'm dealing with? So when I see motherfuckers online and they're telling people, don't donate to this person, don't support this person, don't do that, or whatever, I also have to keep in mind, I got to move forward. I can't spend another year with a whole crowd of people that basically on this app alone only want to see the destruction of each other, and then they'll smile with each other as they're watching the destruction of each other. I'm like, well, we got niggas like Chud the Builder to do that, which y'all niggas said nothing to it. Y'all didn't, it wasn't one lone nigga that jumped out of a car and rolled down there to Tennessee. No, keep it real with yourself, because see, it's already, see, motherfuckers want to rewrite history. You can't rewrite history. History stands as it does right now. Ain't name one of y'all niggas, except for that nigga at the gas station that spit on him, did anything. Y'all ain't shoot at this nigga. Y'all ain't go down there and put him on his ass at the very least. Y'all ain't one nigga put him in a dope hole while the next nigga take the gun out of his pocket. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly and truthfully, Tennessee, y'all look like some of the softest motherfuckers in the country right now. No offense. You know what I'm saying? And I say that not based on the y'all won't get down. I say that based on the fact that y'all did nothing to this nigga. But more importantly enough, back in the day, in that same area in Tennessee, during the 60s and 70s, they would have bust some niggas down there to handle that. The Black Panthers would have been down there to handle that. You understand what I'm saying? The MOVE movement would have been down there to handle that. The Nation of Islam at that time, if you would have called them and told them we need some help with this, they would have been down there to help out. But yet and still, you got these FBA niggas that are some of the loudest, most motherfucking vocal motherfuckers online. And shout out to those 5 people that just logged on, because it's the truth. And y'all did nothing. Y'all put up posts about Africans. The whole time that Chud the Builder shit was going on, y'all were putting up posts calling people tethers and shit like that because it's a soft target. And that's the problem. I don't like niggas that like soft targets. And that's why I said, whoever is in that collective of that FBA shit, you're always going to have to answer the question, how did you let this one lone white boy pop in your sons, your daughters, your family's faces, and ain't name one of these niggas take this nigga out? This nigga shouldn't even have made it to court. He shouldn't have made it till he shot Joshua. And even more importantly, how come he's safe in the prison? He shouldn't even be safe in the prison. You shot a U.S. military officer, retired. You shouldn't be free to walk around. You shouldn't be protected or nothing like that. But because of that good old boy system down there in Clarksville, y'all scary niggas combined, there's nothing happening to them. So when I said what I said about that nigga yesterday and Tariq Nasheed and all the rest of them FBA niggas that sit around try to act all tough with other people of color but ain't got nothing to say to motherfucking Chud the Butcher, I stand on what I say. Y'all niggas is pussy. Alright? Y'all niggas is pussy. And until you prove me otherwise, I'm going to keep referring to the FBA as pussy. Because 2 times the FBA has failed. You failed when these girls were on out here. You want to hear the real? These niggas from the FBA done failed 2 times. They failed the time when Trump took away I forgot what it was, but they took away the food stamp shit. Niggas was out here telling, the FBA niggas was out here telling, well, I guess we're gonna have to start robbing the grocery stores. That was their answer. You understand what I'm saying? Now we had this Chud the Builder nigga running around. A nigga came into my very chat, and I still have the screenshot. And he said, there's only one guy. I said, this one guy, and this was 3 days before he shot that man. And he's like, yo, this one guy is a problem because what he symbolizes. Now you're seeing doppelgangers of them. There's going to be more of them coming along. I just heard Nick Fuentes say the exact same words I said, and I didn't even hear what he said. He said there's going to be more of them. You see what I'm saying? And so I only have these conversations. I won't be having these conversations here with you no more because, like I said, to me, and there was some FBA niggas that was standing against Puff. There was some FBA niggas that was standing against a lot of people. I won't sit here any longer and defend a bunch of coward niggas when it was time for you to put in work. You didn't put in work. And that's why I kept telling you about these FBA niggas before. These are decadent sucker niggas. All right? Most of these motherfuckers that are in that FBA shit, from my analysis, are decadent wannabe white motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they want to fit into white society. That's why they call themselves the foundational black Americans. But what was you pussy ass niggas at when this nigga was down there jumping in the faces of little black girls and shit like that, spraying niggas with motherfucking pepper spray or whatever? It wasn't a cavalry whatsoever with a decal that said FBA on the front of it down there. And instead of listening to what I'm saying, what the majority of these FBA motherfuckers do is I don't want to hear this. You ain't got to hear it, bitch. These rednecks gonna let you hear it. They gonna let you hear it when you get to the point where you ain't got no choice but to listen to it. Now, only thing you have to do is go back and listen to my other lives, and they'll have this nigga's name entitled in it, and listen to what I say in there. And you tell me with your open chest, motherfucker, that everything that I said was gonna happen didn't happen. That's the show. And y'all still some bitch ass niggas.